For you?
You're
You
set, mate.
haven't.
Fuck, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay.
This is Beyond the Game, where we generally have no idea what we're doing, but I can guarantee we will give it a go and figure it out. Whatever. Next to me, we've also got a very special guest, long-term friend of mine of 16 years. He is our UAE correspondent, officially as of right now. He is hole-in-one guy, and he is also a very good friend of mine, and that is James Clarky. Clark, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good, thanks.
How'd you like that intro?
Yeah, no, I like the intro. I don't like the fact that we're still settling on the hole-in-one guy, because
Ending.
I guess we're settling on irony of the fact that I've never had a hole-in-one, but I'm trying to get one, and as a result of it, I'm the hole-in-one guy.
You know, you could be Solo's war correspondent at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think we get into that. Just quickly though, man, but before we sort of break this down and get into a bit more of a conversation about you, Ollie, a couple of weeks ago, this is the first time on the record that you're actually speaking about this, and I'm still a bit grey on what's actually happened, but 2 weeks ago you had a absolutely horrific accident. I think you're down to about 4 out of 9 cat lives. So you haven't got too much longer to go, mate. But yeah, I mean, like, can you just take us through what actually happened a couple of weeks ago when you were on the golf course while I was parked up in bed at 8 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, thanks for coming along. You were meant to be in my playing group. I got swapped in for a guy that nose missiled me with a golf ball. Oh yeah, so we were playing the other morning on the Sunday, and my mate describes it best as luckily unlucky. My mate, Chris, his playing partner, he duffed his tee shot next to a tree, and then he went down, he took a shot, and he knocked it forward like a foot, and just picked it up, put it back, reloaded, and then tried to hit it again with his 7-wood. And I was stood 5-10 metres to the right at nearly 90 degrees playing with him, and somehow he managed to get it around the tree and scream and I've turned and looked, just watched this missile take me square in the bottom, and just absolutely destroyed my nose. Shattered the nasal bone, shattered the septum, blood everywhere, and like the funny thing was the boys were an absolute mess. So, oh no, what's happening? I've sat there, I'm like, somebody give me a towel, please, like holding my face together. And then they're just like running around in panic. I'm like, God, lads, right, took charge of it. Get me an ambulance, get me back to the fucking clubhouse immediately, get me a golf cart, and, you know, get this glove off my hands so I'm not sticking to my face. Ambulance, and then, yeah, went to Fairview. They gave me a CT pretty quickly, and then they were like, yeah, we just don't have anyone that deals with this. So your options are go to Liverpool, which is like an extra hour away from home, or discharge yourself and we'll give you a thing to go to Ramwick. And I was like, sure. And I was like, well, they'll give me the CT stuff. They gave me the CTs on a CD-ROM drive that they'd burnt. I mean, get to Ramwick, brand new hospital, there isn't a CD-ROM player in sight. And I spent the next 5 hours just sat in A&E outside with my nose like a like a moon across my face, until one of the girls that was sat next to me got the shits and went, look, can you please get this guy in the scene? Because they were just ignoring me. I spent the night in hospital sat in a recliner inside A&E listening to people having all sorts of problems, and then at 7 a.m. in the morning the nurse decided that was a good time to come in and go, well, ENT and plastics are having an argument over who's got to do the job, so we need to figure out whether or not your nose is visibly broken to the bone. And I was like it was like over here. I was like, clearly, but she was like, nah. So tried to inject me up, very painful, and then brought out a pair of tweezers and started digging through my nose, which was one of the most horrifying things I've ever experienced, especially at 7 in the morning after sitting there all night. And I nearly passed out, nearly vomited, and then I was like, you have to stop. It can't continue. And she was like, all right, and she disappeared off and just left. And I was like, can I speak to her? And Al went past, new doctor comes in.
She was probably the one that passed out and was spewing, mate.
She was just like passing it off. She waited till the next doctor came on to the ward, passed it out on the handover, and the old girl walked in and went, "Oh yeah, plastics," and just walked back out. And I was like, "Fuck me!" So I've been sat there all night. Plastics come down within an hour, surgery within 2 or 3. Because like once Australia gets going, it's unbelievable their service. And I was back home by 5 o'clock with a new nose.
I've
still-
just got a question. What type of golf ball was it? Was it like a Pro V1 or like?
We're looking for our first
Once I
sponsor.
get
Yes.
off, I'm going to look for
Can
the
you
print.
see? Is it like indented? Are you now permanently sponsored by Titleist or something? Just I mean,
It's a solos ball apparently.
Silos ball. Those balls are hard, really hard.
We need our first sponsor real quick, Ollie. So, Timeless or Callaway or whoever.
Let's go away wherever
Whatever
you
it
want.
was,
Yeah.
just as long as it's not, I don't know,
Yes.
whatever those Ram or Hondas.
It's funny though, because like the only question I could like, the only thing I could hear was poor old Chris. He walks past and he's just like, "Oh my god, I'm such a shit golfer."
Chris is the guy that hit you, is he?
Yeah, poor bastard.
Yeah, cool. Man,
Is he
we'll need
actually-
to get him on a call.
Is he actually a good golfer?
No, he's off 30.
And he's still
Never
in front of
stand
him.
in front of a golfer, even if it's a foot.
Oh man, how are you? How are you though mentally, brother?
Mate, it's been tiring. I've got to be honest. Like, James, you wouldn't know, but I had like 5 years ago, I snapped my neck and died, drowned, quadriplegic. I was told I'd never use my arms again, all that kind of stuff. I had to learn to walk again, use my arms again, like absolute trial and tribulation. And I've definitely had a few days this last couple of weeks, just like, man, why me? Like, how has this happened again?
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into that luckily unlucky, I suppose. Because it could have been an eyeball, could have been a jaw, could have been whatever, way worse. But yeah, it's been exhausting. I got to be honest, I just like... I had a bit of a moment today where I just took the nose off and I was just like, fuck's sake. Because I know I'm going to have to deal with it in 12 months again. Because I can't breathe through one nostril. And I'm just like, well, it's tiring, it's taken a bit of a toll, but just got to keep moving forward, right? And I'm very fortunate, again, luckily unlucky, that I've been through the process with the mental health, with that other recovery where I, had to deal with lowering the kind of reaction I have with my vagus nerve kind of stuff, where I'm always on edge and alert and trying to stop the panic attacks and all that stuff. So I've actually got some things in process, which today actually includes a whiskey, that just calm me down and allow me just to relax and just get on with it. But yeah, it's a bit like I've just had a bit of enough of it at the moment. I thought after that last one I was probably done for big injuries, but there's definitely...
feel like the previous injury and having gone through all of that has better prepared you for going through this? Or it's almost like a little bit of like, as you said, like, oh, why me again? Like, as in, like, Mr. Unlucky or Lucky Mr. Unlucky, or whichever way you want to spin it. Because obviously they talk a lot about, past experiences, building up resilience and all of these things. But to a certain extent, sometimes you're like, give us a fucking break.
Yeah, so look, it's given me the tools to deal with the stuff I'm having to go through again. I'm lucky on this journey this time. It's not as critical as it was. I think if I had lost an eye, or gotten a ball in an eyeball, or taken a jaw out, and I wasn't able to eat or suck it through a straw, it might have been a way worse journey than it is being. But yeah, I think it's prepared me well for it, and in comparison it's not as challenging as that one. But I think if something big happens like this again, I'll definitely start to struggle with it. There's only so much prep and so much time you can go, oh god, like...
So what are some of those tools then that you reckon that you've developed over like the last 5 years or so?
One of the big things is understanding, like I had this amazing psychotherapist, right? I did. She was, rather than just based on, and I know what I need, because I think everyone's journey is different. Some people need that. Oh, how you feeling? What kind of, you all right today? I don't need that. I need someone that explains it to me in a logical sense of why the body reacts the way it does, or a bit of science to it. And I think, because I'm quite a practical person, Um, and she gave me some tools, little things like help me understand that when you're negative, you get in a negative head loop, you actually overload your brain with a chemical or I suppose a chemical or whatever it is, a hormone or something that disrupts how you are, and it actually creates more and more negativity in how you think and everything you do. And literally one of the best things to do is just every day I sit down at the window, I've got a beautiful view here, and I just take stock for an hour and be thankful, or half hour, and just be thankful for the things I have and remind myself of the good things. And it allows you to stop that negative build up, and it actually, your brain rebalances its chemical makeup. It's actually really, really fascinating, and that helps. So some breathing stuff as well, and which is, been really good for me. The great thing about her, she gave you loads of options, but some don't work for me. Little things like some people journal and whatever else. But, for me personally, breathing exercises, being thankful and trying to find positivity and do positive things really help me get me going. It's only the little things that I need to actually control those moments and identify the panic attacks. Also, the other one that's actually very good, and not actually recommended for mornings, although a lot of people do cold showers in the mornings to get you going, because especially as you get older, it actually increases your rate of stroke. It is holding your breath. So almost engaging that panic under the shower. People call it's the diver reflex stuff, yeah, where you hold your head in the water and cold water, and you hold your breath, and it actually calms your whole nervous system. And I do that by basically waterboarding myself in the shower under the big rain of the shower and hold my breath. So it kind of induces that moment, and every day you just try and go a little further with it and hold for longer, and it slowly settles all your nervous system. Or for me, it does, and I know that's part of the diver's reflex. It actually really worked for me, especially with cold water therapy as well. I'd have cold showers like in the afternoon or middle of the day. If anything's coming on, just go jump in a cold shower, chill everything down, do some breath, like hold my breath, try and work through it, and keep doing that until it kind of calmed my whole system down. So really, really interesting.
Still doesn't clarify why you're so grumpy afterwards in that morning routine though.
Oh, that's because I'm British, mate. So I'm naturally...
British, or you're from Cornwall, mate?
Well, Cornwall, yeah, but it's still British, mate, isn't it? We're not, as much as we may be our own nation, and we are still under the British flag.
That's why you don't like to journal, mate. You didn't get past second grade in writing.
Coming from you, that's fucking rich.
Right? Yeah.
If we're going stereotypical, you've got to be careful here, Tommy.
Mate, New Zealand schooling is 10x on most third world countries. Well, no, Ollie, you and I are going to do like a really cool catch up and speak about this in more detail.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
And that's awesome. Like that, just hearing a little bit more, and we could go on for hours. And I'm pretty sure Clarky, he's really passionate and keen on talking in general, but he has some really valid questions there too. So
I definitely want to hear about his journey with the old hole-in-one.
Yeah, mate. So I guess Clarky, man. There's a few things I want to just chat through with you today. First things first, and I think we'll focus on, you're based in Dubai. You are our UAE correspondent, unofficially. Essentially, what that means is we want to know what the petrol prices are going to be in Australia in 6 weeks from now. Nah. Like, how is it, man? Like, what's actually going on over there? I've been there a few times. I'm sure Ollie's maybe been there once or twice, but when I've been there, it's a beautiful place. It's really well put together.
Yeah.
Clean, safe. But how are you feeling?
Yeah, no. We've had a little chat. And I think probably the biggest thing is safe. All's well. We have got a bigger worry going on right now, though, that could completely and utterly rock the next few days, and that's we've got rain.
Oh
yeah, seen this.
So it rained this morning, and there's a few people now just looking out and looking at the damage on their balconies. A few chairs have gone. The lifeguard had to take cover at the local pool. None of this happened whilst there was an alert to say that obviously, there's a political thing, and I'm certainly not going to get into the political side of it. But I said to you probably a few weeks ago, I said, look, I'd be lying if I said that there aren't times where like the mental side of it gets hit a little bit. And I think when you sort of said, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just done. Like, I think like that's where it comes. So it's like we get probably one or two alerts on our phone to basically just say, we've identified this, we advise you take cover, stay away from windows, that. So that alert comes in. But I think the biggest thing is like no one goes about any form of panic. Everybody here feels safe. If you were to look out the window right now, the world here is operating as normal. There are people on the beaches, there are people in the pool, there are people like me still out on a golf course trying to get a hole in one. If you went to a golf club, it's thriving. The communities are thriving. Tourism is down, but that is not due to the fact that people don't want to be here. That's due to the fact that 25% of airlines have decided they're not going to fly here anymore. So it's just they physically can't get here. But yeah, like from a personal point of view, we've got a 6-month-old daughter, and I think, you know, if like as a dad, and I think that, you know, changes it. And you know, Tom and I both talked about being a little girl dad, where that changes your like your insight and the way you think a little bit. So I think like if I didn't have our daughter, I'd be like, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like it'd be like it's then working out, right, having a conversation, right, what is actually best for her. And we just keep settling on to the fact what is right for her is to be here. This is our home. We are made to feel incredibly welcome, incredibly safe. There was a post that I reposted yesterday on my socials from a radio presenter who is on Dubai Eye, and he basically sort of like completely and utterly epitomised the attitude here of everyone who's still here, the love that everybody has here for the UAE, Dubai, people, the reason as to why people work incredibly hard to stay here. Because Tommy, I mean, you know, you've had a couple of mimosas and some cocktails, and it ain't cheap to be here. So
No, it's not.
you've
On
got to
holiday
work
there, I
hard.
remember how
And
much
he
a beer was.
basically said that.
Unless the company's paid for it, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, yeah. For the last
Love a good
21
9 a.m.
days.
Bloody Mary.
So for the last 21 days, the war started between Iran and USA 22 days ago. This is day 22. Eid is today, or started yesterday. So for 20 days, the UAE's been following Ramadan. So the military here in Dubai, you are Emirati. Now Emiratis only make up 10% of the population of the UAE, but you have to be an Emirati in order to be in the military. So not only have they been fasting and following strictly to Ramadan, which is important to them, it's an incredibly important time. They've been doing all that whilst also keeping everybody safe, 90% of which are all immigrants.
Yeah.
And I think when you put it that way, and you're sort of like, where else in the world would you ever had a situation where an entire population that is born in that country is there protecting immigrants and making sure they're safe? And that's why everyone here just feels so safe. Yes, all right, it is unnerving. There's moments where you're like, ooh, like, that's not great. And you said, like, as you said, you get to a stage where you're like, I'm a bit done with it. I had a day the other day where I'm like, oh, I'm done. Yeah. But then the following day I went and played golf, and I went and caught up with some mates, and I spent time down the golf club, and we had a chat about it. And one of the other guys I was playing with, he was like, mate, it felt the same way. The weather wasn't great. Everyone was just a bit like, oh, come on, we're done now. Like, you're not in control of it. Like, we just want to move on. But you then go and do something, go and spend some time around other people. We talk about like the tools you're talking about how to sort that mental health side of it.
Yeah.
And you just go into your tools. And tools for me are being active, doing stuff, And that's what we went and did. And we went and did that. I felt great. Not looked back. We were at an Eid barbecue yesterday. It was lovely. It's actually Mother's Day here in the UAE today. So going to go and spend time. First one for my wife being a mother. So we're going to go and enjoy Mother's Day. Due to play golf tomorrow. And then the kids are back to online learning on Monday. So like it's just life is as normal. And yeah, like just probably incredibly thankful for the military, the UAE, the government for everything that they do and have always done, which is why, like Tommy, when we chatted last year, and I think the biggest question for that you had for us is like, why have you come back? And it was like, it's for this. Like we missed it. Like we missed feeling like this was our home. And then the moment we landed in 2024, and we drove down Sheikh Zayed Road, and I just looked at my wife and I was like, I feel like I'm home. And I've not had that in many places. And it's, and that's why. So yeah, big up the UAE. It's been awesome.
Just to clarify, this feels like a Love Actually moment. You even got someone behind you from the military holding signs and taking them off.
No.
His hands were there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good, man. And I guess like finally, like with you and UAE, what's your sort of drink of choice over there? I know you're a bit of a mocktail man, aren't you? Or a
Yeah,
0%?
passion fruit mojito, mate. Passion fruit mojito, next level. Or a hibiscus iced tea. Get on hibiscus iced tea. That is...
What's that costing though? Is that 100 dirham or 120 dirham? Which is what?
Passion fruit mojito will probably set you back about 35, 40 dirham, which is about £7 or £8.
So about $15. That's about right.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
pretty.
essentially,
Pretty decent. Yeah.
essentially thinking it's probably the same as anywhere where we'd go for a drink. But yeah, that'd be the drink of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, strictly non-alcoholic. Love it. Feel good. Thanks very much.
Yeah, good man.
I was
That's awesome.
doing no drinking.
Someone hit you in the nose with a golf
Jan.
ball.
I think it's Jan, so I've had a good kick at it. But I just yesterday I was like, the whiskey club keeps sending me whiskies. I was like, that's bollocks. I mean, the last one arrived.
Who's sending you whiskies?
I joined a whiskey club ages ago. They send me once a month, and I've got like these custom special whiskies, and I've got a rack of them now. And I was like, sorry, the Glenmorangie.
Can't just jump online and go like, oh, please stop my whiskies from coming every month. It's like, I can't do that.
You know, good excuse now and again to have one, isn't it?
Good story during COVID. A good friend of mine, Coos, Luke, Ollie.
Yep.
He had COVID and couldn't leave the house, couldn't do anything. So sent him over 3 bottles, might have been 6 bottles of non-alcoholic red wine. That was in 2020. I think they're still in his garage.
That's where they'd be in mine.
Oh no, that's cool, man. Well, I guess like moving into Father's Day, like that's a pretty good transition into what I was going to ask you next. One, congratulations on becoming a first-time father.
Thanks, mate.
How old's your little one?
6 months.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
Born the day before the
Prophet's birthday.
Prophet's birthday.
Yeah,
on the Prophet's birthday or just before?
Just before, day before. So it meant that paternity was good because I could tag on some public holidays onto it, and yeah, it was. So she was very well behaved. She was due on Prophet's birthday, arrived the day before, so got that day off. Prophet's birthday, long weekend. Then my paternity, managed to sneak out a solid 12 days paternity, which was good, as opposed to the 5 days I was meant to have. And then, of course, now I think we had 4 weeks over the Christmas holiday. Got to spend that with her then. Now we've got a bit of a prolonged period now with online learning. which is good. So yeah, been very, very, very lucky. I said the positive out of the shitstorm is
Yeah.
yeah, been lucky. Got to spend a lot of time with my daughter. She's moving into weaning, which is a hilarious situation.
How's the sleep pattern going?
Mate, I told you she's good. She's golden, mate.
How's your sleep pattern going?
Well, I mean, I got woken up by an alert at about 1 o'clock this morning, and then that was it.
But
So
not your child.
yeah, not a child. Child sleeps like as I said, sleeps like a baby.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
good. She's a good sleeper, which is
yeah,
good, and we'll take it. Very thankful.
yeah.
Do you find,
And
I know that with these kind of late wake ups, where you're getting these kind of nighttime wake ups as well, obviously if you're having a rough night or with the kids, or even if you're not, it just adds that little bit to the mental health that when you don't get that sleep, you just feel worse for days about it until you can get your head a bit fresher because everything just seems that little bit harder.
Yeah, and the worst thing are whoops. Because
Yeah.
now you like some days you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel great, and then whoops like you're on 7%.
Yeah.
You're like, you fucking what? It's like you've just slept for 96 minutes. If you don't sleep, you're gonna die. And you're like, what? I thought I had the best night's sleep I've ever had in my life. And now my body battery is, and I go double bubble. I've got a Garmin on one wrist, I've got a Whoop on the other. I'd have an Aura ring if it told me, just to try and see which one's got the best one. And they're all, but I mean, yeah, like I think like I'm a teacher as well, so that's like the hardest bit, and you're more sort of like conscious of how your sleep pattern then has an impact on you then going to school and then being around kids, because they're like you're tired, right? And you know what comes with being tired, and it's
From
about sort of
severe
like
grumpiness.
yeah, and that's the worst thing to be, because they're just, I mean, I work with primary school kids, and they just want to play, and they just want energy, and you're like, right, come on, muster it up, and then you got to then go home and then also muster up the energy. And I think the biggest thing for me being a dad was finding that balance between like all of those tools we talk about like the tools you put in place in order to be mentally good. Because like in order for me to be the best dad I need to be, first and foremost, mentally I need to be in the right place, you know, and because when I'm not, that's going to impact everything else around it. So, and there are times where you sort of like question about, oh, like, am I being the best dad I am, or mentally I'm in the right place? And then the mental side then hits the physical side, because if you're not mentally right, you're not going to go to the gym, or you're not going to be active. And then you start, and like I said it before, it's like I very much am one of those people of like, if I feel good, when I look in the mirror and I feel good, then mentally that helps. And if I know I'm not doing anything and I'm like, oh, I'm a bit fluffy, or I'm drinking and I'm eating and I'm not, and the balance isn't there, then it starts to get to me. I feel rubbish, and then I feel lethargic, and it's one of those like kick yourself up the arse sort of situations. Looking yourself in the mirror and go, look, come on, sort yourself out. Let's do this. And it goes back to when I was sort of like in my early 30s, and I went and saw a counsellor. Just had 6 sessions. There was loads of stuff going on with work, and really wasn't very good at finding a balance. Everything was just work. I was desperate to be this incredible, successful, nothing else matters, I'm just going to smash everything, perfectionist, I want to be the best, all of this stuff. And it just wiped me out. And then, so went and saw a counsellor. Had thankfully, through the school I was working with, you were entitled to 6 free sessions. Said, look, go and speak to somebody, go and sort it out. And she gave me the analogy, and I still use it today, of a pane glass window. And she said, right, what I want you to do is go and take away a piece of paper, and I want you to split that piece of paper into as many segments of everything that you do in your life. She was like, right, so like work is one, and then like rugby is another, and then like running or girlfriend or family. But I want you to make the window for that section as big as you think it is for your life. So for if work is 90%, make 90% of that window. So I went back to her and I think I must have had about 5 or 6 things on it. And she said, right, what I want you to do is I just want you to smash one of those windows. I was like, right. So it's like smash the work window. Work's just gone. Like you're on your summer holidays, you're not working. Smash it because you're not doing it. What have you got left? And it was that realization of like, oh my God, like my world is work. And when that goes, I've got nothing. So then she was like, so now what you need to do is create your window with as many different things as you can find. Be as active as possible. Just be super busy. But it means then if all of a sudden you're not running or you're not playing golf, you're just smashing a tiny little window. You've still got 80% of your window still intact. Make work not 80%, just make it 60% because the rest of the 40% is made up of all these different things. And I still do that. The issue obviously you have is when things get thrown to you, whether it's like, right, now I've got to be a dad, I've now got to add that in, now I've also got to be a husband, but I still want to play golf, I still want to go running, I still want to go to the beach, I still want to catch up with my mates, I still want to do all this, and you're like, oh my God, like where do I find that time? So I think that probably is the biggest learning curve at the moment, is finding where that balance is. And
Do you
then,
time block any of that?
what's that,
Like,
mate?
would you like time block that over a week or so? How do you put priorities in place there though? Like, I mean,
Yeah, like over a week. So I would just
Yeah.
make sure, like in a week, I would look at what my window looks like and like
Yeah.
how many things are there, and also making sure that I've got a number of those things that are just for me, and that I will plan to do them, and then I will invite people to come and do them. But if they say no, I can still do them.
yeah.
Like that's the biggest. So like I'm gonna go and play golf. Do you want to come and play? No. Right, well I'm still going anyway.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna go for a coffee. Do you want to come and join me for a coffee? No. Well I'm still going, and I'm gonna sit there, and whether I have a coffee with someone or have a coffee on my own, it doesn't matter, because the point is I'm going to do something, and it means then when I come back I'm just a better person. And obviously that's I guess where it comes down to the whole idea of like golf situation, because I think me going through that counselling, starting playing golf, and where I am now, that all came in because I was then going down the golf club and having these same conversations, and people turn around and go, oh, I'm a bit struggling on this, and I'm like, well, I've just had this unbelievable session, try this. And then someone like, oh, sweet. And then someone like, oh, I tried it. Yeah, it really works. So it's almost like we would all, like, some of us have a session or not have a session, and then we'd all come together and talk about our sessions in like this thing. And I think my wife described it, because I think I was chatting to my wife about it, about like what is golf. She was trying to work out what is the female version for her, and she said, oh, it'd be like if I went to the nail salon. Like that's exactly it. Like I'm not going to get my nails done. I am. But I'm also going to sit there for a few hours and have a chat to a load of other girls about what's going on. Now, obviously, you know, there's a lot of girls who still go to golf, and my daughter is going to be a golfer. That's a fact. We've already got a coach lined up.
But I mean, leading on from that, and like at Solos, I mean, everything kind of built out from Solos as a brand was from, I guess, I mean, Ollie and I connected, another friend Tracy connected, but one of the pillars was like, you know, Solos. That's where it came from. You're playing golf by yourself.
Yeah.
You're going in to have your nails done by yourself. You're going to have a beer at the bar or the club or pub by yourself. There's something cool about certain areas where, and I think we actually spoke about this, where golf, it's very easy to go and connect with someone because you're generally in a group of 3 or 4 people. And I mean, for you, I mean, you're obviously very easy to talk to. I like having a chat with people when I'm there and actually checking out, I guess, who they are and understanding. But one of the principles in general of Solo is that we want people to connect with each other. And when you see the Solos brand on the golf course, whether you're on the first hole or you're at the clubhouse, you're potentially, it's an invitation, a really subtle invitation to go and just have a conversation and be like, hey, how are you? It's very indirect. And that's something cool about golf, is that, you know what, it's a really good opportunity to communicate with someone, see what's going on, and actually make a potential difference in a positive way, whether it's to yourself or to another person. But I mean, leading on from that, there is a reason why you're playing golf by yourself. You are on a mission to get a hole in one.
Just before we get into
Mate,
this, can we just talk through your mate in his first round of golf in St Andrews? Getting
Mate,
his only one.
honestly, the thing is, it's him. It's like that example which makes the whole pursuit of it as equally frustrating as it is appealing. Because
Yeah.
it like and that was where it came down to. So obviously, yeah, I mean, I've played golf with him, and he is genuinely like he's incredible. So give him a bit of context. He's a child psychologist. He's now a clinical psychologist. He works for the BBC. I won't say any more on that far because obviously I will chat to him at some point. But he is like genuinely like this is the point. It was the delight of it. Now, just as I said to Tom, and the bit that didn't come out is this is how unknowledgeable he is about golf. So when you're looking at a scorecard, obviously you just have to put the number in of what you score. So when I said I got like a 10 and then a 12 and then an 8, I actually had to calculate that because he put how many shots more than he was meant to have got. So rather than putting the actual number, so like on a par 4, he had like +6. And I was like, +6? What do you mean you got a 6? He went, no, I got 6 more than I should have got. So you got a 10? He was like, yeah. So then when it came to like the hole where it was like a hole in one, it was like -2. And I was like, -2? Which, and he was like, yeah, -2. I was like, so you got a hole in one? He was like, yeah, I got a hole in one. So, and I was like, right, so the frustration is, here's a guy, so I've never played St Andrews, so if you don't know about St Andrews, you can't book a tee time to go on St Andrews. So it's a ballot. So you can't just travel, you know, obviously everywhere else you'd be like, oh, I'm playing here or playing there, you know, like, so I'm going to play Dubai Hills, I'm going to go and play Emirates Golf Course, I'm going to play Jumeirah Golf Estates, when's your tee time here, job done. With St Andrews it's a ballot, so you have to travel to St Andrews, you then have to sign up for the ballot, and they say to you, you're likely to get a tee time within a 3-day window. There are other golf courses around that you can go and play, and then you just sort of just wait around to try and get your tee time. As a result of it, it's relatively cheap. So I've never had the opportunity to go to St Andrews and just sit around and wait for this tee time. I've also never had a hole in one, and there's this guy who, and I can't hate him because I love him so much.
But you want to hate him though, yeah?
There is an enemy that's like, I hate his story. I hate him for what he's done. And I hate the fact that he can now dine on that. He never has to play another round of golf ever in his life.
maybe we should be talking to him.
He probably never will care about it ever again. He'll be like, oh yeah, just
Honestly, I think he
the-
would be better coming on this podcast than he would be coming on mine.
Well, he is the
Actually
hole.
had insight
He is the
about-
hole-in-one guy. Maybe we're talking to the wrong person.
Exactly. He is the mental health expert, and he's got a hole in one. He's the hole in one guy. You've literally got the wrong person. You've got the mate of the hole in one guy on your show.
Shit.
rebrand the hole in one guy's mate.
There's the hole in one guy's mate. Yeah. So ultimately, I am just aspiring to be him.
Oh god, it's painful, isn't it?
Really painful. And
Yeah,
the thing, when you're there, I find myself jumping on statements of like, well, Sevi never had a hole in one in competition golf, so, and like, look how good he was. So I'm just assuming, like, there are people who have never had them. And then you speak to other people and you go, got friends, and they'll be like, oh, how many have you had? And they're like, 14. And you're like, 14? It's like, when was your first one? Oh, when I was 6. I was like, brilliant, good. Yeah, 42, still been going on, like, not got one. Have you ever come close? Yes. Like, well, not close enough? No. And then, you know, like, everyone's... And there's, yeah, I'm getting to the stage now where I mean, even on what was it yesterday when I played golf, played with a mate of mine and his wife, who are members at Dubai Hills, and his work colleague, a guy called Eddie, South African, great guy. And every time I stood up on the tee, knew what I was trying to do. He was like, mate, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one. Come on, show us how it's done.
You already cursed it.
Didn't say anything. Was close a few times. And then at the end of it, he went, oh yeah, and we were talking about, because at Dubai Hills, they've got a board. And you give your golf ball that you got your hole-in-one with, and they stick it to the board, and it's got your name underneath. So we were going through some of the people, because there's absolutely no way that they've given the golf ball away to, I got a hole-in-one. Yeah, of course, you can have that golf ball. So some of the golf balls that people have given over are like fantastic. You know, like a yellow Ramble or a Honma or just anything they dug out of their bags. You don't see Pro V1s up on that board, I'm telling you that now. And I said, and then I think my wife sort of turned around and she was like, oh, so if you got a hole-in-one, you'd go up on this board. And I was like, no, because I think this is just for members only. And then Eddie, who I've played golf with for the last 4 hours, encouraging me to get a hole-in-one, hasn't said a single thing, turns around and went, oh yeah, when I got my hole-in-one at Ranches about a month ago, I'm up on the board. I was like, you fucking kept that quiet. He said, oh, I didn't want to steal your thunder just in case you got one. Like, is there literally anyone in this world who's not had a hole-in-one other than me? Like, have you boys had a hole-in-one? This is where you turn around and go, yeah, we've had it, yeah.
No. But I've played, and do you know what, Tommy, you might remember the guy. You remember Sean Hayward?
Name sounds familiar.
Oh, mate, he doesn't have a handicap because he's off what would now be probably 50. Awful golfer, blowing an absolute gale down at Moore Park and into it it's their long path 3, which is like 195 metres or something. Yeah. And he hit a 3-wood in, and we went looking for that ball for about 20 minutes. And found it in the hole. And I've never forgiven him. And do you know what the worst thing was? He teed off with that ball on the next hole and lost it.
The good thing about...
I don't talk to Sean anymore, and there's a reason.
Yeah, mate. The good thing about looking for a golf ball at Moore Park for 20 minutes is that you're actually going to be on the next tee, and you will just about be ready to tee off.
Oh, no, mate. The weather was so bad that there was no one else on the course. We've just committed to it. We're in full wet weather gear. It was brutal. And he still nailed it. And it was horrendous. But brilliant. The only thing I could take out of it that made me happy was he thought I was taking the piss. And when I celebrated for him and jumped around, he found absolutely no joy in it. And I was like, oh, well.
See, you've had the next story then, because I was like, have you ever seen one? So you've actually seen one, maybe not seen it, because at least you've seen the shot which ended up in it and that whole of steering. See, I've never even seen one, never even played with anyone who's got one, but yet it seems everyone I've spoken to or I play with, they're like, oh yeah, I got one, yeah, I've had 2 or I've had 3, and you're like, cool, not me. No, so that's the pursuit. So I decided I'm not interested in anything else now other than just the pursuit for the rest of my life to get a hole-in-one. That is it. And
so
I'm
you're
fully
literally
prepared.
the pursuit of happiness.
The pursuit of happiness, correct. But I am fully prepared that it is not going to happen. And that is, yeah.
It's almost like that Matthew McConaughey speech where he talks about being ahead of himself in 10 years and chasing his dream or whatnot. And he's never going to be able to get there because his dream is 10 years away from where he is. And unfortunately, you're in a position where you probably are likely not to get a hole in one during your lifetime. So you're always going to be chasing that, which is probably a really cool thing as well, is that you might get to 70, 80 years old and you're still kicking it and trying to get that hole in one.
Yeah, I'm trying to envisage.
No, but it's a positive thing as well, because, like, you know what? It gives them a purpose to actually go and do something, and it gets to the point where it becomes so powerful that, like, you're just doing it because you know likely you're not going to do it, but if you do it, like, holy shit, man! Like,
well, I think that's it, isn't it? It's like you said your mate there. He was like, you're going mental, and he's not really. And obviously, I think sometimes we're so wary of turning around and saying, I really, really want this. Like,
Yeah.
I really want this.
Yeah.
Because if you then don't get it, there's that, you've then got to deal with that whole failure of it. So in the end, we try and play it cool, be like, oh, if I got it, it'd be great, but you know, it's okay. Whereas I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I really, really want a hole in one. Like, I don't care about anything in golf. I just really want a hole in one. And I'm going to be properly pissed off if I don't get it. But I'm not going to tone down that feeling of wanting it because I'm afraid of that it might not happen. In fact, I'm going to build it up even more on the basis of the fact that when it does happen, and I've said, yeah, when it does happen, it's going to be so fucking awesome. Like I've got visions of how I would celebrate in different situations. So like, if it's a hole in one over water, I am 100% going beeline the fastest route, which is straight through the water towards it. Have you ever seen and if you've not, Andy Sullivan trying to get a hole in one in 100 shots with the DP World. DP World did this thing a few years ago, which was they pick a pro golfer, choose one of the par threes on the professional course that they're about to play, and the pro golfer gets 100 shots at this green to try and get a hole in one. And Andy Sullivan did it, and not many people, even these pros, have not got it in 100 shots. And Andy Sullivan did it after about 83, 84 shots. And he's peppering this flag. It's like downhill, peppering this flag, and he's getting like 2 inches, 3 inches, all of this kind of stuff. He's getting more and more frustrated. And then he holes one, and he just runs down the hill like, come on, yeah, fucking, and like he's a proper lad, like kicking the turf, like just the most unbelievable celebration, as if he's just scored I think he's a Liverpool fan. It's like he's careering, you know, the Alan Shearer style, like hand up in the air, just going like full beans round a football pitch. He's gone into full goal celebration mode, and I think it's because obviously when they're playing golf, there's an element of playing it cool. Whereas with him, it was like, nah, I'm giving this full beans. That's going to be me. And I'm doing that. And I think this is where people want to be. If you want to see my hole-in-one celebration, then you need to get behind me getting a hole-in-one. And that's where we're at.
And I think that's where something.
I'll be out there in October, so we'll talk about it later. But hopefully it'll happen when I'm there. I tell you what, though, just quickly on those celebrations. There's two things, two reels I've seen of like people that record their hole in ones. Right, one was a guy that was 90, got his first hole in one.
Yes,
and I was like,
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like cheering for him, fucking brilliant, absolutely great. And I think that's just awesome. And the other one I was watching the other day was the guy Jack Nicklaus, old Jack Nicklaus, got his caddy to take a shot on live TV at the Masters, and he sinks it. Yeah. And I'm just like, they're the moments, right? And it'll happen in those moments because you want it that much, and because people want it with you. I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that was where it came down to it, and this is like the whole point. Was like where this is all sort of different sections have come to it is because when I was open about what are you actually doing here, it was like, I'm trying to get a hole in one, and I don't want to be that guy that gets a hole in one, doesn't film it, and then I've got to try and persuade to it, or like to persuade, oh no, it happened, so this guy, he can back it up. I was like, no, I'm going to film this, and then I can back it up. But then everyone then starts talking about it, and everyone starts, oh, actually, I really love par threes, and then I've started looking at par threes differently. I've started appreciating them more, love them. Then we started realising, actually, I just bloody love a par three golf course. Like, great.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come to Sydney, we do actually have a course called Shorty's, a little par three. We go around there and see if you can get it, because there's enough par threes for you to get one in 18 holes.
Where's it?
Minimise the amount of chance.
Yeah. Is that North Bondi?
It's over by you, mate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
It's out your way. It's be good for Bella.
Yeah, nice. Mate, just going on, I guess, quickly, what the actual challenge is. And the good thing is you're now on board as the solos ambassador for the UAE, which ultimately means that if you do get a hole-in-one from now on, it's going to be because of our socks.
It will be in. It will. Yeah. So
Yeah,
There's almost
we're shamelessly claiming it. But
Ollie, there is almost some kind of global competition that's going to come from this where, you know what, we want everyone to video their par threes, and we want you to tag solos wearing solo socks.
first person in solos to get a hole in one.
and we give you like
$10,000.
10 grand or something.
Oh, there we go. It's already.
You've already done it. Sign it here first. 10 grand. You've got it here first. You're welcome, everybody. That's absolutely fine.
Everyone, we're talking.
Join the solos
Yeah,
Just
that'd be a great thing.
Active challenge. Wearing solo socks or a solo brand. Film it. First person to get a hole in one in solos kit. 10 grand on Ollie. Done.
Yeah,
We're talking. We're talking dirhams, aren't we? Or are we talking?
No, fuck it. I'll put 10 grand up. It's all right.
There we go. 10 grand, mate. I fucking love it.
I'm ending this now. I'll see you.
What the irony is that the amount of people that could potentially get a hole in one before you, even though you are the hole in one guy pending.
Well, this is it, isn't it? And this is the question. The question is then, it then moves into how many people will get a solos hole in one before me? And it's like, I add that to my reel, it'd be like, currently 3 people have done this.
To get the leaderboard.
The following people have all managed to do this before me. The following people have all beaten me at my own challenge. I mean, it gets more and more depressive, but don't worry, because I'm all okay.
But you know what happened, don't you? Is they'll forget to wear the solo socks and forget to get them in the shot. And you'll be like, nah, sorry.
Doesn't count. Does not count.
That is the key bit. You have to be in solos. Like,
yep.
Yeah, solos, golf socks for
it's
sure.
not in solos, it didn't happen. It's not filmed, it didn't happen.
It's a full recording as well. It has to be a full recording, start to finish at the hole. You take your shot, you get the hole in one, celebrate, pick up your phone, go and walk to the hole, because that's the only way that we can generally prove it, unless you're a member at Dubai Hills and you can actually have your golf ball put up there. Unlike you, Clarky.
Like there is, and I was chatting to him the other day, and he has agreed to come and tell his story. He is that guy, the solo golfer, hole in one.
No.
And he's on the tee, and he instantly has that moment of realization of, fuck, no one's going to believe me. Fuck. And he's looking around, and he's desperate to try and find someone who might have seen it, and he turns around and sees a guy running towards him, celebrating, I saw it! I saw it! And he's like, yeah! He's got that celebration. Oh, where's anyone? And the guy's running, and he's got a series of photos of like him, the whole of this guy, and he's like, don't worry, it's all okay. And I was chatting to him about it, and I was like, mate, you were that guy. And he did it on the first hole, because at Royal Ascot, hole 1 is a par 3. So he started his round with a hole in one.
Oh, by himself, like.
Yeah. He's rocked up.
Yes!
Rocked up after work. Car park. Just, there he is. A bit of a loosen up. Put the ball down, one shot. Fuck. Has anyone seen that? Yeah, someone saw it. So yeah, so that was that'll be that story, and talk to him about his emotions.
The validation's key, right? The validation's part of it, though, because no one's going to believe you. No one in your friend group's going to believe you. I don't care who you are. And how nice they're going to be like, he never got that hole in one. He's a fucking liar, and that would be it.
Yeah. And the other, I mean, but then there's the other benefit, isn't there? Because obviously, if you do it on your own, the question then always comes of, when do you want to get a hole in one? The worst time to get a hole in one, a Saturday morning on like a roll-up day or a weekend Stableford day, because you're not escaping it, and there's a shitload of people in the clubhouse. If you've not, and you better hope that you've got money on that credit card, because that bill is big. So therefore then the other side is it, when do you want to do it? like a Thursday evening after work, 5 o'clock,
You
on
can
your
get hole-in-one
own,
insurance. You know
straight to
that?
the car, clubs in the car. See you later. No, not telling anyone. Not telling anyone.
I'm gonna get the 10 grand to pay my bar bill.
Yeah. Have you seen there's a meme? I know like we're talking about like hole in ones. There's a meme of like I think it's Japan
Yes.
or Korea.
Yeah,
And they
it's the
don't
Japan one.
you don't buy a round. You have to buy your playing partners an expensive gift.
Yeah.
And with a guy, it's like the HSBC advert, like you got to know your culture that you're in. And
I think it's an insurance ad, isn't it?
yeah,
And then
and
the
then
Yeah,
second time,
he's
he
off.
hits it off a
And
tree.
then he watches the three people behind him tee off and just smack it into the trees, like top it. He's like, so then he like plays around again, and then it's like, I'm gonna whack it into the trees. Hits a tree, it bounces out and holds again. See, I'm thinking to myself, you fucker, you've just got 2 hole-in-ones, and I'm still not got one. So
But maybe that's a sponsorship avenue for you because they do hole-in-one sponsorship, right?
yeah,
So insurance.
yeah. Well, so in the
So if you get it like in Japan and you
In
have to pay
Japan, really?
50 or 60 grand to buy nice gifts like the Porsche you had to buy for someone for you getting the hole-in-one to celebrate or whatever you have to do, you can actually buy hole-in-one insurance.
I feel like Clarky can take the risk there and not get insurance.
yeah,
Why?
we at the golf. So we were
Super yachts all round.
Your mate though that shoots 6, 8s, and 10s, he needs insurance
Mate,
like
he needs
full on.
100% insurance. This was the question. I was like, did you go to the clubhouse and tell everyone? He was like, no, didn't tell anyone. Brilliant, brilliant. That makes sense. But I mean, like, I think on that, like, we had Club V1 app at our golf club, and on that, they had hole-in-one insurance. And they were sponsored by Rolex. And so obviously you put all of your club competitions on Club V1. And if you got a hole-in-one on a Club V1 registered competition, you were given a hole-in-one Rolex by Rolex. And I was like, and the word news was going around. I was like, nah, that doesn't exist, surely. And then at the club AGM, I was sat next to one of the old boys who'd, I think, about like 8 hole-in-ones, of course he had. And he was sat there, and someone said, go and speak to him. He's got his hole-in-one Rolex.
Rolexes.
And yeah, just on his arm. He's like that looky guy. And you're like, yeah, come and get your Rolex. And he's like, no,
all the
that's my hole-in-one
Rolexes I'm
Rolex.
wearing today.
Yeah, so he got a hole-in-one in the club championships and got given a Rolex by
So
Rolex. And you're like, yeah, fair play to him. So, yeah, loads of stories. Gonna keep documenting it. I'm up to attempt 29. I've done 29 attempts, filmed attempts, and I'm fully prepared. That I'm just trying to work out if I keep going, or when I keep going, and I'm 80, what number is going to be above, like attempt 27?
I almost think there's an opportunity here for us to take on some kind of betting agency and put odds on you. Every
I'm not running the book.
every 2 weeks. What are the odds of Clarky getting a hole-in-one?
So
Yeah, I don't know.
there's
Actually, you know what? That's one of the questions I was actually going to ask you, and it's probably like good that we sort of finish up here to an extent. But I had 3 questions that I wanted to run through because we're going to be doing these calls quite regularly and just catching up and have a bit of banter and see what's going on in life. But I did have 3 questions that I want to stick to you every time we have a conversation, and just to get your perspective on it. What's one thing that you're genuinely looking forward to over the next couple of weeks?
oh
Sorry, put you on the spot there, mate.
wow, yeah, it's like a job interview. That's a really good question. What am I looking forward to? I think probably touched about it again. Making the most of being able to spend more time with my daughter over the next couple of weeks. You know, we're online learning, so going to be making sure that kids in and around Dubai, some kids have left, but make sure make sure that they're able to have their education, but also spending time with my daughter, which is class, because you know that. I think the biggest advice everyone gets is to make the most of it now, because at some point they'll be gone and you'll be there, and you've got to make the most of it. So that's that. Go on, next question.
What's the next question? What's one thing that golf has taught you, either on the course or, play on words here, beyond the game?
It's the advice that a friend of mine gave me, and I will tag him. His name is Zane Scotland. He is a professional golfer. He runs his own golf academy.
Has he got a hole in one?
He's had 14.
I already dislike you.
He said to me, when it comes to golf, and I think it's something that you can take beyond golf, and he said, never compound an error with another error.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that, man.
So, and it's like, particularly in golf, and it's like perfect example when you go back to it. The guy that hit you in the nose with a golf ball. The key bit about that was you said the first thing he did was he topped it.
Yeah.
So what he should have done was just go, right, that's fucked. Now I'm not going to compound an error with another error, because more often than not,
just knock it out.
Exactly. And I think if you then take that into life, that's probably, the biggest one is to just learn from it, own it, and then move on and never compound an error with another error.
Yeah. Never stand in front of a ball ever again.
Although I do like Bert Kreisler's thought is, if you're never going to be a good enough golfer to ever really matter, no one's ever going to remember the time that you laid up and got a par. They're always going to remember your eagles.
This is true. This is true.
It's right. So there's a little bit of it there, and this is why I've got this.
Yeah.
Last one before we speak next. What are the odds? What are we looking at percentage-wise in terms of you potentially getting a hole in one? Like, how are you feeling?
I feel exactly the same way I stand as I do when I stand on the tee of every single par 3, and I speak for everybody, and I challenge anybody to not think the same way. When you stand on a tee, and I've got the words of whoever it was in Dumb and Dumber, is it?
I didn't see this coming.
With the words, and he says, so you're saying there's a chance? Yeah. I genuinely believe when I stand on the tee that this is the one.
Yeah. Oh, Jim Carrey.
Carrey. So you're saying there's a chance? Like, yeah.
So there's still a chance.
Yeah. It's like, and it's not like 60% of the time it works every time. It's not that. It is Jim Carrey. He's in the voice comes into my head. And I play with a guy, and he now knows that's what I think. So he just whispers behind me, so you're saying there's a chance? I'm like, yes, I'm saying there's a chance. So that's it. Realistically, statistically, I think I put it into ChatGPT, and statistically it says that there's like a 0 for someone of my handicap playing golf, like at a
what is your handicap?
Time. What's my handicap?
Yeah, because we haven't covered that. 2. Oh, Jesus.
Is 0.7% chance. ChatGPT says I've got a 0.7% chance of getting a hole in one when I stand up and hit it. So then on that basis, you're looking at around about over 7,000 attempts before the hole in one happens. So on average, you're looking at possibly around about 120 a year. I mean, I've probably do about 10 a year, so 120 a year. So what's that, 120?
Here's just quickly. So you're actually doing a full round though as well. That is the rule.
Yeah. Full round.
You can't just go and slot par 3s and until you get it. That's not the rules. Doesn't work like that.
No.
So that was
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do a whole round. Just play a whole round.
First shot, no mulligan.
get to a par three, set the camera up, film the shot, and then just carry on my round. I don't go back to it. There's no mulligans. It is what it is. I document the good ones, the bad ones, wherever the ball ends up. That's exactly where it is. And yeah, so on the statistics, 0.7% chance of getting a hole in one. You're looking at around about 7,000 attempts. On average, I'll do about 120 attempts a year. So in order for me to get to the 7,000, that will take 58 years. That will take me up to my 100th birthday.
Awesome. You'll break mate's 90-year-old record. It's
Mate, how unreal would that be?
Mate, my 100th birthday.
Mate, like, I can't wait. Like, I really can't wait.
Fuck, I hope I get one before you.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes of this competition anyway.
Are we locking this competition in?
Yeah, definitely.
I think we are. Yeah, I think we're actually are.
You can do it. It's up there. It's the solos comp. You have to be in round. You have to be in a round. You have to be in a round. You have to be wearing the solo socks. It has to be recorded fully.
And just to confirm, if that person who gets it is not me, they don't get the title of the hole-in-one guy. They get the title of the guy that or the girl that beat the hole-in-one guy.
No. I think what we do is make sure you become the bridesmaid or something. We do a play on words there that you become the hole-in-one guy's bridesmaid, or like the one that's always the bride, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Maybe we could do like a little.
And it's only for the person that beats you there.
Yeah, we could do like a little royal scenario here, and like if someone gets a hole in one, then you become the hole in one guy, the second.
Okay.
And then the third.
Like they give kings and queens digits
100%
afterwards.
So I just gradually move further and further down the pecking
coming.
I'm heir to the throne. I'm second heir to the throne. I'm the 27th heir to the throne.
Man, that's been so cool. I've really enjoyed having this conversation. You're a brand ambassador for solos now. Congratulations.
Can't wait for that. Is that the 6-panel hat we're talking about?
That's the 5-panel. That's the 5-panel sample.
That's nice. That little, I like that.
Yeah,
mate. He likes his 5 panels, but we've got some stuff on the way for you. But you're a brand ambassador. We can't wait to see what you do, and we're really excited to have you on board and being a part of you and your challenge to get a hole in one. Congrats on being a father.
Thank you.
Massive congratulations.
Working through, I guess, the mental challenges of, I guess, living in the UAE at the moment with what's going on and going through everything. And I think you really spoke about that in a really positive, structured way to help a lot of people. I think a lot of people will connect with that. You are also our UAE correspondent, so just be reminded that we will get an update from you about oil prices, about what's going on, and about when we can go to the UK, or at what point in the summer we can get, not to the UK, we're going to go to Europe, but at what point can we fly via Dubai to get to where we want to go a little bit quicker than travelling around the US on a 35-hour flight.
Wow.
Ollie, absolute pleasure having you on, mate. Your first public appearance, I think, on public TV or public whatever this is.
Yeah, whatever it is. It's just us three that will ever see it. Okay, so I actually, just to finish up, I was actually meant to be over in Dubai in April for the World Finals of the World Amateur Match Race.
That's right.
3 days over there, me and my playing partner qualified from Australia, and that's now been cancelled. It's been postponed until October. So to go with Makama, I got the World Amateurs Finals cancelled. I've got this in the face, so I don't know what I've done wrong.
Was that due late?
So is it Al Zahra?
Al Zahra, yeah.
Al Zahra, Emirates, and then Montgomery.
Yeah. So Al Zahra, great place. Strange enough, the director of golf there, I used to teach him when he was a kid.
Awesome.
Yeah, so great track. One of my favourites, really, really good, because it's very, very different to being in Dubai, out in the mangroves, so you've not got the building work, lovely. I used to be a member at Montgomery, so got a real little soft spot for that, it's great. So yeah, if you need a playing partner or a caddy, I'll come and caddy for you.
You're the correspondent, so we bring you around with the microphone, camera up.
Oh, I can be an on-course presenter. So here we are.
Yeah.
You've actually come prepared, mate. You've actually got your own mic.
Oh, mate, you have to get your own mic. You need to get your own
Mate, I'm going with call center. I'm going with call center vibes today.
No, if the one thing you realise about this is, your own mics are important because you can just dull out the rest of it. But no, I like finishing up. Yeah, no, whenever you're over, just message me, and obviously we'll get it sorted. Just from me, I just say, yeah, very, very huge thanks for getting me on board. It's an absolute privilege to be part of the Solos brand. I think when we talked about it, it certainly does mean a lot to me in terms of the whole way of like Solos brand and what it stands for, and the journey I think for golf, and not only to believe in the product, but I think more importantly I believe in the message, and I think it is a massive message of that whole, like you talk about, it's you see that Solos brand and it's an open invitation to come and have a chat and to open up, because realistically it's the only option we've got. And I think when someone fires out a stat and says that the number one killer for us are ourselves, that is just ridiculous. For the sake of just someone turning around and saying, yeah, I'm having a bad day today. And it's also understanding of like, it is just today. Like sometimes one day might become two or two might become three, but more often than not, sometimes it's just, yeah, I'm having a bad day today. Just not feeling great. Tomorrow I might be all right, but I need to put my tools in place. So I think that message, it's a privilege, and very, very much delighted to be on board. So thanks very much.
Yeah, it's really great to hear you say that, because for me it's not about the brand. It's as much as it is about being able to do something that makes a difference and a change. And after mine during my journey, it's I don't know, Tom's already put himself out there as well. It's something that is really important to me, is the fact that we're doing something to make a difference for people. When you have near-death experiences, you realise that, you know, it's what you're leaving behind, right? And if we can have a little bit of a legacy of doing something where we really help people, and that you are not alone, and people see a Solos brand and realise people are buying stuff because it's not just a brand, it's also an open gateway to say, come hello, just come say hello, you know, and be filled to talk and stuff like that. And I think the biggest thing for men is just actually it's generally being able to find someone to talk to, and it's not all men want to talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But the gateway, or the initial conversation, and getting past that embarrassment and stubbornness that we all inherently have, is literally just realising that you can actually talk to one of your friends in a really safe space.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if we were to ask anybody, if you want to say, right, actually, what do you want to be? I said, I want what everyone else wants. I just want to be a better version of me tomorrow than I am today.
Absolutely.
That's it. And if that means maybe opening up or having a chat or looking a little bit internally about what I need to improve on, and there's loads of things that we can all improve on to be better versions, but probably the biggest one, as you said, is just to know that just have a little chat with someone. And like you said, not everyone wants to speak to an expert, they want to speak to their mate, or they just want to have a conversation, and maybe also just picking up on those cues, and being better as friends about picking up on those cues that somebody might not be openly telling you, I'm really struggling today, but they might be sort of giving you little ins and things for a way to sort of work it out. And that's things that probably goes back to things in golf, where you start to pick that up, because over 4 hours, when you're sat in a buggy next to somebody for 4 hours, you tend to talk about a hell of a lot of stuff, and you pick up on those cues. So yeah, again, thanks very much. I'm glad your nose looks great. You'll have to tell me.
You haven't seen what's under the hood, mate. We'll see. We'll see.
Did you actually get the option to choose a new nose? Like, 'cause
Mate.
did they give you like a booklet and they'll say, would you like the old nose, sir, or we can give you the Tom Cruise, or we can give you the Johnny Depp? What would you like?
No. So basically, in this round, it was okay. Look, new technology. We can put Humpty Dumpty back together again, because my nose was literally a smash crab. It was done. It was all over here, and everything was in pieces. And they just went, look, you might not be able to breathe out of it after we've done this, but we're going to try and make it like function as a nose again.